Welcome to my channel. Today we going to meet a homeless teenager who, after finding an abandoned book in a trash bin, turned his life around and ended up writing 27 international best-selling novels. And the strange thing is that it all started when he was just 16 years old. But to understand how one book managed to do all this, let's go back to the beginning. This is the story of a young man named Liam, who had been living on the streets since his parents died in a car accident 3 years earlier. His father left behind a pile of debt, and apparently this made him a nobody in the eyes of the law. So he was sent from pillar to post between different foster families, until he ran away from the last one at the age of 14. This meant that for the past 2 years, he had to survive on his own, sleeping under bridges and begging for food, and even though some people offered him money, he always refused because he was too proud to beg. "I'm not a beggar," he told one lady who tried to help him. "So don't insult me by giving me money. Instead, why don't you just give me some food? I'm starving." This is when the woman realized that the boy needed more than just kindness. He needed a miracle. But unfortunately, this never came, and eventually he became so tired of constantly having to look over his shoulder at the police, or even worse, other homeless people, that he left the city. This is how he ended up in the new town where we're picking up the story. The time is 9 p.m. and pouring rain. We see him making his way down an empty street, dodging puddles and keeping his head low. It's clear that he has uneaten in days, and the only sound that can be heard is the beating of his heart and the pitter-patter of raindrops. As we continue to follow him, we see that he stops outside a quaint little cafe, opens up a nearby rubbish bin, and rummages through the garbage. Suddenly, he feels something hard in a plastic bag, and reaches inside to pull out a damp paperback. Although it's completely soaked through. He wipes off the front cover with a tissue, and discovers the title, "The Boy Who Lived Under the Bridge." Without thinking twice, he opens it up and begins reading. As he does, we hear a voice say, he had no home, no family, no hope. But this book, this single, forgotten book, would change everything. This is the true story of how one moment can change a lifetime. Now, although the book isn't exactly the best written, nor the most captivating story, the moment Liam reads the words, "But the boy refused to give up." Even when things seemed impossible, he kept pushing forward with unwavering determination and belief in himself. He feels a surge of adrenaline, and a fire ignites within his heart. All of a sudden, the weight of the world doesn't seem so heavy anymore. There's a faint smile on his face, and a glimmer of hope in his eyes, as he continues to devour the remaining pages. We see a flashback to a few weeks earlier, when the same author was speaking to a crowd of students. "Don't let anyone tell you that your dreams are too big, or that you'll never make it. If I can inspire just one person with my story, then my life won't have been in vain." The students cheer, and one of them asks, "But how did you get started? How did you become a writer?" Taking a deep breath, he replies, "I didn't know how to read or write until I was 16. The only thing I had was a dream, and that's all I need to get started." Back in the present day, Liam finishes the book, stands up and walks into the dimly lit bookstore. Startled by his sudden appearance, the librarian asks, "Can I help you?" Liam nods, holds out the book and says, "Could you please tell me who wrote this?" The librarian looks at the worn cover, then checks the system. "Ah, here we go. The author is an internationally acclaimed writer known for his adventurous tales. His latest book is a New York Times bestseller. She turns back to Liam with a warm smile. And if you'd like to read more of his work, I'd be happy to order any of his books for you. Liam looks up, startled, and asks, "You mean I can just stay here and read them?" The librarian beams and says, "Of course. You can browse our collection, or even find a cozy corner to curl up in. Why don't you start with this one?" She points to a biography of the author and hands it to him. Liam takes it, mumbles a thank you, and sits down in a chair. The more he reads, the brighter his eyes become, and before long, he's totally engrossed in the words on the page. The hours pass quickly, and when he looks up, he realizes that it's closing time. "Oh, I'm sorry," he says. "I didn't realize." The librarian waves her hand dismissively. "Don't worry, it's no trouble. Just take your time and enjoy the books. See you next time." The following day, Liam returns to the bookstore, this time wearing slightly cleaner clothes and armed with a list of questions. "I want to learn how to write like him," he tells the librarian. "Well, that's wonderful," she replies. "Why don't you come to our writing club? We meet every Friday afternoon and you're welcome to join." On the day of the writing club, Liam hesitantly walks through the door. He finds himself in a bright, welcoming space filled with bookshelves, comfortable armchairs, and eager faces. As he settles into one of the chairs, he observes the participants discussing various aspects of storytelling, characters, and plot development. Feeling a bit overwhelmed, he decides to keep quiet for now, content to observe and soak in the atmosphere. The weeks that follow are a whirlwind of activity for Liam. He spends his days working part-time at a local newspaper delivery service, where his boss recognizes his diligence and offers him extra shifts. This allows him to earn enough money to rent a small, run-down room on the outskirts of town. At night he would return to the library, bury himself in literature, and furiously write down everything he learns. One day, after reading a book about ancient Egypt, he writes, "Ancient Egyptian kings ruled their kingdoms with wisdom and precision. They developed complex systems of government that ensured stability and prosperity." He underlines the passage and adds in the margin, "Kings also need stories to inspire their people. A good story can unite a kingdom." Something about these words sparks a new determination in him. He rereads the phrase, "A good story can unite a kingdom," and thinks to himself, "My story could unite people." This gives him the confidence to start writing his own novel. He works tirelessly, fueled by his experiences and newfound knowledge. Meanwhile, his boss notices his dedication and drive and offers him a full-time position at the newspaper company. Despite the extra responsibilities, Liam manages to maintain his routine, working during the day and writing at night. Years pass, and we see that Liam is now a successful novelist. He types away at his desk late into the night, surrounded by books, papers, and coffee-stained manuscripts. The once homeless teenager has come a long way, and his story serves as an inspiration to everyone who crosses his path. Then suddenly, there's a knock at the door. He opens it to find an older gentleman holding a battered copy of Liam's first novel. "I'm sorry to bother you," the man says, "but I read your book and it brought me so much joy. I just wanted to tell you that." Liam smiles, takes the book, and flips it open to reveal a note on the first page. The words are shaky but heartfelt. "To Mr. Author, this book saved my life. It gave me hope when I thought all was lost." From the bottom of my heart, thank you. Below the message is a faded picture of a young boy wearing ragged clothes and staring directly at the camera. Liam looks up and sees the same boy standing outside his window. The boy avoids eye contact and tries to hide behind a tree. Liam steps closer, then calls out, "Hey, excuse me, did you leave this at my door?" The boy hesitates, then slowly emerges from behind the tree. He looks down at his feet, then back up at Liam, and whispers, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to intrude. I just couldn't help myself. Your story, it's so real. It feels like you wrote it just for me. Tears welling up in his eyes. Liam reaches out and hugs the boy tightly. It's okay. You can borrow my books anytime you want. In fact, he pulls back and smiles. Why don't you come inside and we can talk about it over some hot chocolate? Before long, the bookstore is filled with laughter as the two boys discuss the power of stories. As they chat, we see a series of flashbacks showing how Liam went from a homeless teenager to a famous author. The final scene shows the bookstore where it all began. Now, if this story inspired you, then please subscribe. Also, let us know in the comments below if you think you might have been that homeless kid. Anyway, thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.